En inglés, fear, miedo, que igual debería ser horror. I don't know. Here we are with Woodward. You have one of the most difficult last names to pronounce for a guy who speaks Spanish. That W is a killer. How do you say it properly?
Woodward.
Woodward. I'm gonna do my best. But anyways,
okay.
As a journalist, I did my homework. I read the book. I promise you, I read the book. I underlined the things. First question: is it fiction?
No, it's so real, and of course that's the problem when you. Look at this. I had the luxury of time to spend a year on it, more than a year really, on Trump, and get the notes and the documents, and you find that the people who are closest to Trump, who deal with him on a regular basis, have the most anxiety and fear about what he is going to do. The bottom line, the summary, is the United States is going through a governing crisis right now. All the foreign, domestic, economic issues, he's got a way of doing things that is too frequently disconnected from the facts.
What is the most scary fact here? Because I don't want to spoil your book, but the worst factor may be that he's a liar?
People who work for him, like his top economic advisor, steals papers off his desk so he will not sign orders that could trigger a reaction. So the most secret special access program we have working to allow us to detect North Korean missile strikes within 7 seconds. Trump is jeopardizing that, so the aide steals the paper off the Resolute desk in the Oval Office.
But this is crazy, but isn't it crazy too that people actually tell you that? I mean, why are these people talking to you? They want to make sure that they're doing the right thing? They're justifying their own asses?
Okay, no, because they are worried for the country. He thinks the security arrangements that we have with other countries were like NATO in Europe, that we're wasting money. And the Secretary of Defense, Mattis, and the generals and the admirals say, no, those are the best dollars we spend. It's our security. NATO has worked. It has kept the peace for 70 years. Not bad. So I think the scariest moment is when the Secretary of Defense, because Trump is asking, why are we doing all this? We are so stupid. We are being played for suckers. Says to him, we are doing these things to prevent World War III. I think when I first heard that, I got a chill.
But in your book, you mentioned that even though he tweets, you know, with joy, no problem, and everybody is like, what? What's going on around? But then the guy goes and once the tweets have been more successful, analyzes, and so he kind of knows what he's doing.
Yes, exactly. How many times did 200,000 people like his tweets? And he discovers that the tweets that are most controversial and show anger have the most approval by people. One point there, it was quite interesting when Twitter said we're expanding the number of characters from 140 to 280. Trump lamented and said privately, oh my God, what a shame, because I was the Ernest Hemingway of 140 characters.
But listen, presidents are very scary, they have a lot of power, or the people who are advising the president, the same guys who are, some people are taking the documents out of the Oval Office, as you mentioned, trying to prevent us from disaster. Some other people are feeding the president into the weird stuff.
I think one of the clearest parts of the book is in Russian investigation. Trump has a lawyer named John Dowd. For 8 months, they work intimately. And Dowd practices Trump testifying and concludes that Trump makes up things, that he lies, that he can't be trusted, that if he testifies, they'll charge him with a crime and he'll wind up in an orange jumpsuit. And in the end, can I use the word on television. Dowd concludes that it would be an insult to tell Trump what he thinks, but what he thinks is saying to Trump, "You're a fucking liar." That is the verdict of the person legally closest to the President of the United States.
So the book is the beginning of a conversation, but should be the conversation about Donald Trump. In the near future, we're going to lose a lot of jobs. 25% of Americans have something to do with driving. We're not going to be driving anymore. That's a problem. We're not talking about it. It's like, is Trump the problem, or Trump is the consequence of a problem that we're not addressing right now?
Well, he is the problem because he has the job and he has the ego and decision-making process. He is obsessed with himself. He joked at one point, you know, who's your most important advisor? He said, me. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. Anyway.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Great. Thanks so much. Nice talk.